Outer Orange.
Привет! We just got the ban list, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm going to obviously talk about it a little bit more. I'm still waking up, so, you know, just deal with the fact that I'm half awake. Some really amazing stuff. I'm actually really happy with majority of what we got today, so I can't wait to tell you guys about it. If you guys haven't heard, guess what? You can just find it all here, or you can go to my Discord, you can do whatever. Before I start, do not forget to shop at VanguardCars.shop. Use my code ORANGE. Just some amazing deals going on top of the fact that just in general, they've been doing a lot of changes, a lot of good stuff is coming, so feel free to use my code. Support me, support the boy. Let's get this rolling. Let's get started. We had the ban list. I did a little sneak peek there, but before that, I'm actually really excited about this. This is the Overdress and Will Dress song collection. They're doing a digital release of this, and I cannot be happier. There's some amazing, and I mean amazing music on this soundtrack. Whatever they decide to put on it, it'll all be good, obviously, unless, I don't know, they put like random background music on it, even though the background music is good too. So this is actually really exciting. I have watched the majority of Overdress with the exception of the latest season. Music was always super good, so I cannot wait to see this specific thing come to life. I will definitely be buying it, doing whatever, selling my soul, I don't know. I'm really excited about this. This is really hype. But aside from that, because that's really hype already, we did get the premium ban list. This is what it looks like. This is in Japan though, so keep in mind this is Japanese ban list. Ours might be different. We don't even know when it's going to go into effect. However, I personally feel majority of this will probably go into effect in some way, shape, or form. There's all this stuff that's just banned. This is the big red scary text. It's for premium, so we'll start with premium first. So Vanquisher, the full Bronto, got banned in Japan, which is pretty insane. I was not expecting this because I really didn't think that the deck was that suppressive, but you know what? It got banned. It's understandable. Narukami still, even with the stun burst restriction, is still like a very solid deck, right? And I guess they're just trying to kind of just get it out. I don't really know, or I think they're still like a good deck because of all the generic stuff they have, but I don't know if like they needed the extra tap. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. The bird, the chicken, I'm not gonna say that full name, but the bird, the chicken, whatever, from Nubatama got banned in premium as well. This was very interesting. I wasn't expecting this because we did have this over in V premium happen, but I wasn't expecting to go over to premium too. Maybe with the new cards coming out or something, they just felt like it needs to go. There is a pretty good like engine you can kind of do that will get you that guard restrict value like pretty quickly and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know if it was like that oppressive. Colossus over in Japan got banned. If you guys don't know, it actually wasn't banned originally. Like they actually didn't have it, we had it only. So in premium it did get banned, and thank God that went. That makes their meta a little healthier. But also Inglissa, Steam main Inglissa got banned as well, and I expect to see this change should definitely switch out over to our side too, because we're definitely seeing the main heat of it because we're the ones that have been mainly playing and mainly seeing the results, right? So for us, this like definitely needed to go. So they're banning Inglissa, which is pretty insane. I never thought I'd ever see this card banned. I thought maybe I'd go to 1 or something like that, but this is definitely a way to deal with the whole ride down deck, just completely ban it, and that's what they did. Now another interesting one is actually the G guard here. This is a Great Nature G guard if I remember correctly. Let me just double check. So this is actually pretty interesting. So a lot of the reason why they banned this is because of the amount of token spam you can do, and then you could just retire all of it and draw a ton of cards, and it's actually very interesting. So I actually really like this card, and it going definitely makes sense, I guess, but there's some stuff that Great Nature got access to recently that actually makes the deck like pretty good. Makes Big Belly pretty good, so I can kind of understand why they did it. It is a kind of an interesting tap. I don't know if Great Nature needed it because Great Nature is a little inconsistent. So Snubbers got pushed to 1. JP side did not have this, so this makes a lot of sense. So that went away. That went back to 1. So now it's that and full Bronto. So pretty much I don't think Narukami is too great, but they do still have Vowing Saber, which is by the way still insanely good. I was just testing into this last night and I was like, oh, it's just so annoying. The G guards are just so good. But you know, just it is what it is. They just pretty much lost their Vanquisher combo, so that's all. Alright, so they unrestricted Katarina. So this is an unrestriction list. This is what completely got unrestricted, and I got unrestricted at max copies. So this isn't a restricted 1. It's not a 2. It's a straight up unrestriction. So I know I had to really specify that because I think it's important. That's pretty big. Now, guys, you guys know me. I talk about this a lot. I only started playing premium in 2020, essentially. You could argue that I like looked at a card or two in like 2019 or something. I might have like looked at a card, but I didn't start playing until somewhere in 2020. Notorious was one of the first online people. I'm with Spectral and a couple of people that I ever faced in my life. We had COVID happen. I missed out on a lot, and I mean a lot. So I missed out on this entire meta. Whatever this Katarina meta was, I missed out on it. However, Since this card has been banned, and with the amount of people that I have talked to and the amount of stuff that I've learned since 2020, I hear that this is a very disgusting card to have at 4. So I'm not really going to talk about it too much because I really couldn't tell you exactly what the ifs, ands, and buts about it. I have watched a couple of videos from back in the day of Katarina, or I keep calling her Katarina, I'm so sorry, League of Legends says different. Katrina, her name is Katrina. But anyway, Katrina, I've heard a lot of stuff about her from, you know, people that play the game a lot, people that have topped, people that just played Neonectar. So I have heard a lot. So and I hear there's like loops and stuff you can do, and on top of the fact that we do have overdress token generation that we can do, it's all pretty consistent in my eyes. So this getting unrestricted in my eyes is very scary. Now I'm just saying this just from first perspective, it seems scary, but this is coming from someone who has no freaking idea what in the world just got unleashed. But anyway, that's the premium side. This is overall a very interesting ban list. I think there could have also been a little bit more. So let's go over to V premium. This one's actually kind of interesting. I actually kind of like this. I kind of wish there was a little bit more, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. So they put Aqua Veil for V premium to 1, and I think that's very interesting because Percival currently in the Japanese format is at 1, and actually I think for the English side what they're going to do is they're probably going to put Percival back to 1, and then put Aqua Veil back to put Aqua Veil from 4 to 1 copies. I assume that's what they're going to do, and I actually think this is a pretty good move because it makes Bluish Flames still a deck. I was kind of hoping for something like this to begin with. I was hoping that Percival would not get like as restricted as it did, and honestly I think overall this is just a way better approach because, like I said, it makes some decks still playable, but it doesn't make anything like super broken. And like again, they could just put it over into just Bluish Flame specifically, and I think it'd be fine. I will say Gurgit is really good with Percival at 1, but losing Aqua Veil and putting Aqua Veil to 1 would definitely make the whole deck just more functional and more fair, because you only have like that one like couple like Aqua Veil spams, but you know, you can get your one of and then just kind of roll with it, but at least you don't have like multiple. Percival can obviously search for it, but it can also damage it. You can like have to guard with it. I don't know. I do hope that if they put Aqua Veil to 1, that Percival goes back to 1. Some people might get mad about this because they really don't like Percival and all that stuff, but I think it'll open up gold stacks again, and golds can be gold stacks. I know Percival's like an insanely like broken card and all this kind of stuff, but to be honest with y'all, like if Aqua Veil's at 1, I don't think it's as big of a deal. I don't think it'll be as like ridiculous. The Colossus got banned again. They didn't have Colossus banned in JP, so obviously that got banned, so thank goodness, because they had full power teammates this entire time. I think it'll make the GP folks very happy that they don't have to deal with that, because full power teammates is definitely disgusting, definitely a problem, definitely no one needs that in their life. And I actually have been hoping for this low-key, but I haven't really been saying anything because I don't know, I just didn't really care about this deck that much. But they took Meep and put her back to 4, and I can definitely see this happening on the English side as well. Now if you guys don't know Meep, she's from Melody, which is a Bermuda Triangle, the archetype. It's a very high roll kind of astropoety end type of deck, and honestly the deck losing Meep wasn't like the end of the world, because like it just added the consistency of what goes into your soul. It kind of helps deck thinning, but to say like the deck is like, but to say the deck changed that much, it really hasn't. Like there were definitely cards to replace it with, but this is definitely a way better card to have than like what we currently had. So this definitely will make the deck better, so we'll have to see where this goes. It won't increase or decrease the consistency of your mulligan though, so just something to keep in mind. Your mulligan could get really screwed either way, but it will help you not GSS as much into your grade 2s and your grade 3s. So honestly this will definitely help on that end. But like I said, it's still kind of like I don't know how to put it, but it still make you brick in your own ways. GSS Steel this deck is pretty brutal, and not having, you know, shield is pretty brutal, but we'll have to see. There'll be more room to run Fina again. You don't have to run Cannon at 4 copies anymore because of soul reasons. You kind of have this instead to kind of help out with all that stuff. So I'm really excited. It actually brings back the deck. Let's go over to D now, wherever D is. Where'd D go? D? D's nuts. Here's D. There's D. So this is pretty much a pretty good this was pretty good. I like this. So pretty much what happened here is they choice restricted GG and Swirler. Jet pretty much got restricted, and then for Ava's side, I believe this is a choice restriction with Combine Rusher and Ava, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is a restriction with Combine Rusher and Ava. To be honest with y'all, I don't think Combine Rusher was the right call. However, it makes sense. It's definitely it's definitely a piece that was like sort of helping Ava out. However, you could easily just not run Combine Rusher, and there's plenty of good options in my eyes. The deck wasn't really for the early game anyway, so, and Combine is definitely like an early game pick. It just helped you get units and stuff like that, but to be honest, there's so many other cards that you can run in this slot, and it would keep the deck pretty much basically the same. So to be honest, I don't think the Ava restriction will do too much, but I honestly, it's kind of like if they want to nuke the deck, it was definitely the grade 1, but if they want to just touch the deck like it was Combine Rusher, and it just forces people to try different things. But I also think it forces people to run other more consistent pieces, and that's kind of where I'm kind of more iffy about that choice restriction. About that choice restriction, like I said, I don't think it's gonna change the deck from like performing any less or worse. But there is some, you know, new cards dropping in general, like just upcoming cards that do kind of deal with Ava. Something Chris brought up, a different fight, he brought up how like it's that the Ava not being that potent anyway, might not be that potent anyway, just because of the cards that are coming. So, but you know, obviously I haven't tested it, so it's just something I was seeing him talk about over on Twitter, so that's something to keep in mind. But over on the swirler side, let's go back to Jet a little bit. So this is a choice restriction between the two cards, which is definitely very smart. You know, you don't really want to directly touch cards in the main deck, especially the main set and all that kind of stuff. So this was understandable. I will say though, with GG being choice restricted swirler, there's definitely room for other cards. It'll lower the power level of the deck late game, but it won't change the way the deck functions early game. You can still run the Jeweled Grade 1. There's definitely other cards to slot in for the swirler. So in my opinion, I don't think it's like a straight direct hit. It's not like a direct nerf or anything like that. It'll make the deck like less potent like once they stride. That's pretty much all it'll really do. It'll make the numbers less obnoxious. I don't know if there's any other cards that directly like really well replace swirler in terms of power level, but I do think it'll like at least make it a little easier to guard if they decide to first stride. It'll give you access to have more cards in hand, and then if they do go to another stride, you'll have a better fighting chance to deal with that. So it'll make it just slightly easier. Now over on the English side, are we going to get something like this? To be honest, I don't think so. We could, and that would be nice, because I think it would kind of help with the, you know, with Springfest a little bit. It would make Springfest a little bit more tolerable in my opinion, because like both these decks are pretty strong, right? It also kind of put them on the more closer level to like some of the other decks that are also in the same range as these decks. I think this will just help it a little bit more, but I also think it won't do too much either. I don't think the decks will change that much. I think they'll still be topping, especially for us, because we don't really have much else, right? We don't have like set 9 yet. We're getting set 9 soon. We don't have set 10 coming. We don't really have any of that stuff coming, so we're just going to be stuck in this kind of meta anyway, and I don't think that these cards getting touched will really shift that too much. Got the new Jeweled Mesquise, the new mask stuff, which is pretty cool. Very excited to see. I was really into Jeweled. I'm not so into Jeweled as much now, but still just really interesting for the Jeweled players to get what they wanted. Plus, you know, they got this homie and he's just really cool, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like this pose. This is a very cool pose. This is sick as hell. I like that. They're usable in V-Stat, Oh, that's kind of cool. I actually didn't know that. So these cards are usable for V. So that's actually pretty cool. I actually I don't think it's gonna affect us, but because we're probably not even gonna get these cards. But I actually didn't know that. That's actually really awesome. So I'm assuming this means V premium, right? So that's really cool. So you can just run these funny cards, and they're all really cute, and it's bang dream. So that's actually pretty sick. And then over here we got these PRs being reprinted for the Festival Booster 2023, which is absolutely amazing. Very happy to see this. Definitely 10 out of 10. These are, they even show the magazines that they came from, which I think is really super cute. And it is Festival Collection. Actually fits with the Festival Collection theme as well. You know, it's like a festival, you're excited, and you know, here's all these promos, and I don't know, it fits the theme. So I actually really like this. I know there was a ton of people complaining, like going actually ballistic on Twitter yesterday right before this got announced. Like it was like about the PRs that are coming in the previous set. I didn't really talk about it because I didn't want to add like more fuel to the flame. I also didn't want to say stuff I don't know, because to be honest, anytime these topics come up, I'm not like the most like pristine on them. I will say one thing: what they showed as box toppers wasn't like terrible, and the reason being is like what they were doing was they were starting from the original promos and kind of just going through them. So to me, it kind of makes sense. It's like they're not just sort of randomly going to print any promos. They're going to print the original ones that kind of just go down the line of every single promo that released. However, I did understand the anger that people had. I did understand like why people were upset. People wanted these promos. They wanted like this stuff specifically. They want it now. They're trying to test. They're trying to play BSF. They're trying to, you know, compete, and not having access to these promos, like mainly the Halberry, the Halberry, and like promos like that, like the Ava promo, etc. So I got the anger. Now this is really good. This was something I was very surprised to see, but I'm also extremely happy to see. These are trial decks with Graham Gaze, Farnell, and whatever, you know, it is that guy, and Orthist, and I think this is really cool. This adds on to more this makes it easier for new players to play the game and also try really cool decks that are kind of unique and different in style, and I really like this. I think this was really good. I definitely think we should see more of this kind of stuff. This is definitely the best way to, or one of the best ways to get more new players in, while also making people not have to drop like thousands of dollars on like decks, and also just be able to have fun and enjoy the game. So I think this is amazing. Like if I were to, you know, have a friend who wants to play the game right now, this would definitely be a direction I could take them and get them started on, and it would just be great. So this is definitely amazing. More of this kind of stuff would be great, along with the new stuff. The more they do all this, the happier I think people will be. Greenon coming also with the mask stuff, so this will be interesting to see. I like his little outfit. He's looking pretty crisp here. very crisp outfit. He's got ties and everything. I think this guy's super cool, so I'm very excited to see that he's coming. The manga artists featuring the wiki. I don't know any of this stuff, but hey, we got some manga artists coming for you know, BT11, so get excited for that. June 2nd. I don't know what that all means. I think it means something. These cards will have their own secret rarity, so I think it's related to this, which is actually pretty cool. I think these are really, so this is just, so now I'm trying to understand more. So these are artists that will be drawing specific stuff for people, and these look actually amazing. I don't know what's going on here, but this is really cool. All the only one I'm not as interested in is like whatever's happening here, but all the rest of these look really spicy. Actually, I really like this. I think the art style, I think this one's really cool. I like all this kind of stuff. So that's actually pretty crisp. Oh, it actually gave us a skill for one of them. I actually didn't even know that. So this is this can also be regarded as stealth fiend forktail. So that's interesting. When the scene is placed, you can look. Oh, they're replacing the card skills. They're just literally cards that already exist, but they're gonna be in the different art style. That's okay. Now I processed it. It clicked. That's actually really cool. I like that. BT10 Dragon Masquerade coming out. This is all Japanese stuff, so these are all Japanese releases coming out. We got some Token Rabu in the future. We got the Graham Case Orphis Fernil set coming. Got BT12 in August, and we got BT13 in September coming out, which, wow, these are very close to each other. Holy crap. They're literally 1 month apart. Very awesome stuff. And then this is just the next stream. This will be June. That'll be the next one. Yeah, these are reprints, so this is something Matt was explaining, how these are like pretty much really heavy reprints, but these are really exciting. I can't wait for these to drop. I think it's really cool. And then we got more of the Token Rabu stuff for the Sword Boy stuff. So overall, really good stuff. I mean, hopefully that was interesting or entertaining to watch. If you found any of this useful, don't forget to subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. But other than that was really good. Tell me what you're excited about, or what you're interested in, or what you want to see, what you didn't see. Aside from V-Clan collection, I think is what a lot of people want to see. We didn't really get that, so, and honestly, that's the only thing that I'm kind of like about. But other than that, it was overall for me that was like a straight up like 9 out of 10. I know ban list wise some people might feel differently, but I think what we got in terms of interesting information was like really peak. Other than that, guys, peace out. That's Vidania. I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye.